Okay, good morning and welcome to a new Mesechta in Mishna Yomi, my first full Mesechta in Mishna Yomi. We're learning Meseches, you guessed it, Meseches Sheviis. It is, I mean, who better to learn Meseches Sheviis with than someone who actually participates in Sheviis, who lives in Eretz Yisrael. I don't know, I believe most of the people on the All Mishna app, the famous All Mishna app, who refused to allow me to be part of it. But you know what? I'm going to make my own party, and they're not invited. I'm going to be much bigger than this All Mishna app. Anyway, I live in Eretz Yisrael. I keep Shemitah over here. People on the All Mishna app probably live in America, where the OU is. They don't keep Shemitah, or they don't need to keep Shemitah, because they're chutz la'aretz, and Shemitah only applies in Eretz Yisrael. Maybe they get some fruits from Eretz Yisrael to be a little careful, but here in Eretz Yisrael, we observe Shemitah. You go to the Makolet, or you go to the grocery store, and it's not so simple, Depends whether the fruits or the vegetables, they came from chutz la'aretz. If they come from chutz la'aretz, right, then it's maybe more room to maybe make it, you could eat them. And then there's a separate thing called Yuvul Nachri that is grown by non-Jews here in Israel. It's grown by non-Jews in Israel. It's actually a big machlokes among the poskim. Are you allowed to partake of it? You have to be noe kedusha Sheviis. It doesn't mean kedusha Sheviis doesn't mean you can't eat it. It just means that you can't throw it out. You have to give it proper kedusha. Thank God, my wife's family, who's Haredi, they are not machmir. They do not machmir in this sheet, in this sock of Yivul Nachri. They don't not know kedusha Sheviis both by Yivul chutz la'aretz, comes from chutz la'aretz, and Yivul Nachri. So I don't really have any problems over here. But Shemitah did come up in the front garden, in front of our apartment building. We had a fight among the residents of the building. Are you allowed to mow the lawn, big lawn, during Shemitah or not? Because you're destroying some plants over there. The person who's in charge said, no, if you have long plants, it's a sakana, it's going to bring snakes over there. And the most machmir guy in the building, who follows all the halachas, legamre, mutta, chumra. He says, no, but there's a chazanish. The chazanish says, makom heseda, makom, where you're going to lose money, or it's a sakana. Sakana is the fashos, so you have to know Shemitah. Don't cut, let those pieces of grass, those long, and the weeds, let them grow to maximum height in the front yard. We have to make our building look as presentable as possible, and I think he won out with his chumras. I don't know why this guy always wins out with his chumras, but this is the life of Eretz Yisrael. People are very makbid on their chumras with Shemitah. So we're going to learn about Mesechta Sheviis, about Shemitah. I can't wait. This is exciting. Let's start. Parak Aleph, Mishnah Aleph. We're going to do Mishnah Aleph, Mishnah Beis today. Mishnah Aleph. Arei masay chorshin b'stei ha'ilon of Sheviis. Right? Besides the actual Shemitah, before Shemitah, the 6th year, there's an Isser, according to some poskim, some Tanoim. You can't do Charisha, you can't plow your fields, because you plow your field before Shemitah, so therefore you're helping out the growth of plants and fruit trees during Shemitah, which is a problem. So when you can do the 6th year, as long as it's good for the fruits of the 6th year, so then it's okay. But Beis Hillel says, no, for a field that grows fruit-bearing trees, you could do until Shavuos. After Shavuos, it's considered like you're doing it for the next year. Ukrovin Divrei Yoski Divrei Elu. Beis Hillel basically say the same thing. Basically, Shavuos is a time for a stei Elon, for a field of fruit-bearing trees. You can only plow it until Shavuos of the 6th year. After Shavuos, you can't plant it because it's going to help the produce of the 7th year, which is Asr. Now, we're going to note that this is not accepted in halacha, and Rav Gamliel, Beis Dino, say not like this. We're going to explain Rav Gamliel's Shita more in depth than Iyun HaMishnayos, even though this is not my own Chiddush, but it's important to know from Shemitah. We're going to get into that in Iyun HaMishnayos. You want to stay tuned for that. That we don't know who the psak is, we don't pass like this, and why we don't pass like this. Mishnah Beis, Ezu stei ha'ilon, what's considered stei ha'ilon? Also mentioning is that that's talking about a fruit-bearing tree. The first Mishnah, if the field it does not grow fruits, let's say it grows grain or something like that, it's called stei halava on a white field. There, it's only beneficial for that year's produce until Pesach. Do it after Pesach is already considered for next year. You can't do it after Pesach. Ezu say Elon. What's considered a fruit bearing tree? Kol shlosha ilanos beisa. If you have at least three trees in a beisa. Beisa is 50 amos, 50 amos. That would be approximately 75 feet by 75 feet. And Real Nasa's Kikar Dvela, if those trees are big enough and mature enough that they can produce a Kikar of Dvela, Shel Shisha Mani Bitaki, a fig cake, you press the figs together of all the produce of these three trees, and it weighs Shisha Mana Bitaki in Italian coins, Shisha Mana is 60 hundredths. Mana is 100 coins. 100 dinarim, a dinar is 6 ma, so therefore one mana has 600 ma, and a ma has the weight, each ma has the weight, goes by the weight, have 16 barley seeds. So do the math, 600 times 16 barley seeds, and you get the weight of this fig cake that would be it would give this field the label of a ste'a'ilan. Chorshin kol beisa b'shvilan. So therefore, you can do charisha up until Shavuos in the 6th year. Pachas mikan, if it's less than 3 trees, or even if it has 3 trees, but they don't produce such a big fig cake with all the figs. All you have to treat it like a stale love, and you have to treat it like a white field, a field that grows grain, and therefore the only place that you can plow until Shavuos is the immediate land around that tree where you're picking the figs from, and the place to put down your basket where you're collecting the figs. Outside of that, so you can only plow it until Pesach of the previous year. Stay tuned for Ian HaMishnah. We'll explain Hui Paskin like a little better. Bye.